The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors. Lighting for ECAT production provided by the Avery Lee Williams Family Foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. We have a humdinger of a show today. We have a beautiful actress, filmmaker, and film festival coordinator. She's in New York, and we're going to talk to her. We're going to watch a little clip of her work about halfway through the show. But, of course, before we get to her, I've got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So, we have the Boston Auto Group in North Easton. We have Pinspiration in Easton. They're a new one, artwork. We have them. We have Harvest Moon Hydroponics in Foxborough, where you go get your mushroom growing supplies. They're in the one in Foxborough. We have Omega Pizza in Rentham. We have Hartley's Jamaican Restaurant in Brockton. Hartley's Jamaican Restaurant, fine food, fine Jamaican food in Brockton. We have the Mansfield Boxing Club in Norton. They're in Norton. We have T's Chair in Foxborough. He's a beautician. He's in Norton. We have the Hockey Asian Fusion Restaurant in Sharon. They're in Norton. We have Happy Paws Salon in Foxborough. They're in Norton. We have Diesel Plus Unlimited in Whitman. We have Royal Feet Reflexology in West Bridgewater. They're in Norton. We have Flynn's Irish Pub in Mansfield. They're in Norton. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have the Riverside Cafe in Wareham, open 6 days a week, all except Wednesdays, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They make the best breakfast from Boston to the Cape, and they have DoorDash delivery. We have Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. My pal Lynch, he is always looking for new wheels, scrap metal, anything to do with transportation. He handles it all there. We have Pal's Driving School in Middleborough, setting up classes for February, April, and June now. We have Anthony Cycles in Middleborough. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have good old Dave's Automotive in Hanson on Route 58. We have Hairway to Heaven Family Hair Salon in Norwell. We have Auto Clinic and Inspection in Rockland. We have the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We have Mulberry Frozen Yogurt in Raynham. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have Doggy Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have Haven Psychiatric Services in Northeastern, right in the building. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We have Evan Young Realty, that's my brother, the realtor. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington on Route 58. We have Joe's Diner in Taunton. We have a new one, Dennis Auto Body in Rockland. And we have Plymouth County Power Sports in Middleborough. I want to thank you guys so very much. And now Caterina Campagna of New York. You're in Manhattan in a beautiful, looks like showcase cinema, basically. You got the film festival sign, marquee behind you, and the curtains that look like they could be pulled and you could have a flat movie screen about 40 or 60 feet wide and long. Is that right?
Well, the signage is right. Yeah, that's for my film festival, the Her Vision Film Festival, International Film Festival. But I'm actually in my home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? We're going to cover all of that. We're going to cover, you founded that festival, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about that first. Then we're going to talk about your childhood, and then we'll work our way forward to the present and the future. So when did you found that film festival, and what inspired you?
I started it actually 2019.
Okay.
Just as the pandemic was going on. I was inspired
Hold
about
up a second. The pandemic didn't start till 2020, so
2020. Well, just in that time period.
Okay.
It was actually March, yes, of 2020. You are correct.
Okay.
But laying a little bit of the groundwork happened perhaps before a little bit. And
Okay.
the pandemic actually pushed me to do it because what more of I guess as an impetus can you ask for of, hey, we all might not be here.
So let's have a film
You
festival,
know?
exactly, to celebrate that. Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I did it. It was solely online for the
Okay,
first 2 years. And since then we've, of course, gone into live venues. And it's been wonderful, great response. It started on the ethos of really to celebrate female screenwriters and directors,
what about actresses?
producers. Yes, actresses as well.
Okay,
Stories that show that women are more than just the bimbette. So that's what we really focus on. But
okay,
we also focus on, I think it's important to underline, mixed gender producing teams, writing teams, because ultimately, yes, we want to empower women,
okay,
but I believe that's only half of the coin, half of the conversation. It's really building a community, a sense of respect and integrity for men and women working together on a film, on a play, on writing a screenplay, what have you, in the artistic realm, just to kind of have that equality and open that discussion of saying, hey, your points are valid, my points are valid, and just having that kind of unity happen on a project.
okay. All right. Now, have you started any of the films that you've presented in the festival, or have you written
No,
any?
I no, I haven't started those. The festival is for other people's work.
Okay,
My films, I'm writing a few screenplays. I've been in a few independent projects. I've been in a few commercials here and there as
okay.
like background. So yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, tell me about your childhood. Where did you grow up? You're in Manhattan now, right? You're a
No,
Manhattanite. No?
uh I'm a Manhattanite at heart. I'm from the Bronx originally though.
Okay, gotcha.
Um yeah, I'm from the Bronx. I actually live about 25 minutes away from Manhattan. I'm in Rockland. I know you
Rockland County.
mentioned,
Yes, I've heard of it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, a
got it.
Rockland. You have a Rockland in your area as well,
Okay,
where your lovely sponsors are.
okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And so as a child, what did you do that got you along this path? It must have been you must have done some pretty cool stuff. So let's talk about that.
As a child, I'm an only child.
Lucky you.
So
No, my brother's a good guy,
depends
but
on how, yeah.
okay,
It's always grass is always greener, right?
right.
But yeah, no, so I think it really pushed me though, like, okay, I had to entertain myself. I had to kind of just be ready to make friends with people automatically. I remember like, just going up to, people that would just walk in front of my street. And I always just saw, I come from an Italian background and my mom would just always make coffee and serve cake to guests. So I'd see people walking, on in front of my stoop and I'd say like, hey, you want to come up for coffee? As like a little kid. And I
Wow.
like made friends with everybody really quickly.
That's
But I always just, my dad loved to dance, so he instilled that in me. So I'd always like, work on dance routines and show them to my father. Um, you know, so I would always do that. I loved, there was always music in my home, so
okay.
I'd sing, and I'd always like look in the mirror and like recite commercials that I'd see on TV, like catchy commercials.
Well, hold up
So
a
I,
second. I like
yeah,
catchy. Give me some examples of catchy commercials. Because I want to know if I remember any.
I don't
If you don't
remember
remember,
them.
that's fine. I was just curious if you do remember. But if not,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
I'm like I might have been like 5 years old.
Right.
You know, and I
Okay.
remember once like I had missed school for a bit. I think I was out, like I had bad asthma when
Oh,
I was a kid,
I have
and
asthma too. Yeah, yeah. I know what that's like. Yeah.
yeah, so I remember being out for like a week or something, and our assignment was to write a commercial. So I just wrote one on the spot because I
Okay.
had been out, and performed it, and the teacher was like, "Oh, that was wonderful." So, that was encouraging too.
Do you happen to remember what it
Um,
was about? What the commercial was for? If not, that's
I
fine,
think it
but I'm
might have
just,
been for shampoo.
okay.
Like, hey, you want that shine?
With hair like
Have
yours,
it
I can see that.
anytime.
Okay, that's sweet. Okay, I like that. Cool. All right, so you've obviously been always been motivated to be entertaining and friendly to people. That's awesome.
I guess. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Why not make, the world as friendly and kind as possible?
I know it's such an unkind world in many junctures, obviously, and that's and I'm really glad that you've taken that initiative, and you can certainly help me do the same thing. All right, so let's talk about now. Did you do anything in high school regarding filmmaking
In
or
high
acting?
school,
Yeah.
yes. I'd be in like little plays, like, little musicals that
Okay.
they'd put on. I remember I was in a Grease production in high school.
Were you
Then in
Rizzo?
No, no. It was a smaller part. What was her name? The girl, like she comes out at the end and
My
she
favorite, my
dances.
favorite was I'm talking. I like the one Patty Simcox. It's the ditzy girl who was kind of cute though. The one that said we're going to be good friends for life. When Sandy came from down under, the Australian girl but that wasn't
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no. I went out with one of the guys in like
All right,
John
I know
Travolta's
one of the
characters.
auto shop in the auto shop, right?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
cool.
I
Okay, I
I
got
was
you.
one
All
of
right.
their girlfriends. Yeah.
Maybe the girl brushing her teeth. That was maybe that one.
I danced. All I could tell you is I think I got it for that reason, the dancing.
That's awesome.
Um
Okay. Well, guess what? We're going to watch right now. Speaking of that, we're going to watch a clip, a trailer of Caterina's stuff, and we're going to come back and talk about it. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back and enjoy it.
Now we'll figure this out now. Amy, come out. We gotta talk.
What's the matter?
Okay, I just found this on the dining room table, and I would like to know, and these people would like to know, who Cherry is. Because I knew a girl named Cherry, and she stole a necklace. And if this is the same Cherry...
If you'd bothered to read the rest, you troll, you'd realize they're only bloody song lyrics. But Cherry is me a guitar.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it's not funny.
See? Meet Cherry. Cherry, Albert, Cherry.
Good. I think it just kind of...
You're such a mouthy little git sometimes. Just as I thought, I told you not to listen to Janelle Monáe so much anymore.
This is the new record, though.
You listen to her more than you listen to me.
That's not true.
I'll bring you what you need to listen to.
It's the new record. I don't understand. There's a problem. What is this? Frank, Back to Black, and Hidden Treasures. I've never heard of these records before.
Ha, ha, ha. Not funny, Al.
So, this is the record I was going to give you. But now I just don't know.
Aw, come on.
No, I mean, the fake death, the instrumental adultery. I mean, I don't know if you quite deserve it. You know?
Aw, come on. You know y'all always send me flying.
Okay, alright.
Oh my God. It's a Sarah Vaughan record.
Yeah, I knew you were going to like this one.
Aw, you know me.
I had a strange dream last night.
Well, Caterina, that was great. Tell us what we just watched. Give us a little
Thank
synopsis if you
you.
would.
Thank you. I believe you saw me playing Amy Winehouse.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Okay, you remember you were telling me about that on the phone. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So that was lots of fun.
Yep.
Kind of came up unexpected, that part. I was doing one project with that gentleman, and when he saw me in person, He's like, wow, I have this whole other idea we could do too. So I was like, okay, sure. So I got dressed up in the wig, the makeup and everything. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so that was lots of fun.
Did you write the script for that, or did someone else write it?
No, he wrote the script. I
Okay.
acted in that one. The one called In Name Only that you saw, that I
Okay.
wrote as well as acted in and helped produce as well. That's a feature. I've written a feature around that. The log line for that is let me get this right. A struggling New York artist tries to save the love of his life from her mafia family ties.
Oh, okay, that's right. You're into the mob stuff. I love it.
Yeah, who doesn't? Any nod to Scorsese, I mean, he's just amazing.
Well, I know. As a matter of fact, I was in Shutter
And
Island.
Coppola.
I was in Shutter
Yes.
Island, and he directed my scene directly.
Really? Fascinating. Tell me about that.
Sure, I was a mental patient, a role I was born to play. I almost did have to play in real life. My parents almost had me committed back when I was a kid, but they couldn't afford it, thank goodness.
See?
But Scorsese was, I mean, I got to work with him there's a old mental hospital here in this area, in the town of Medfield, Mass, which is a very upscale town. And so it's kind of a crappy looking building now with bricks falling out and boarded up windows, but the townspeople kind of save it because it's a historical landmark. And they had me playing a mental patient with us, and I got a scene where I was actually walking across the floor in foot shackles and handcuffs. And Scorsese directed that scene, right? We had an awesome. It was very informal. Me, him, and two other people. The girl playing the nurse and the stand-in for the nurse. And I think it ended up on the cutting room floor. But what an awesome,
Oh yeah,
opportunity to get to work with Scorsese.
fantastic.
Yeah, and he's a real great guy.
Yeah, and that
too.
was a marvelous film.
Yes, it was. Yes, I agree. And I did another. That was in the winter of 2008, and then in the summer I did an outdoor scene in the yard. You know that yard scene at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting. And you probably about what tools of the trade are used to do special effects in filmmaking. Well, the scene that I did, that scene that you saw at the beginning of the film actually took 10 hours, but they had this. I don't know what they call it. They lifted this white canvas on a derrick. And what it does is every hour they move it so that while the sun changes position in the sky, it looks like it's only a minute later instead of 8 hours later. So I don't know if you ever worked with something like that, but it was huge is all I remember. And I remember that they had it on a crane, and every hour they moved the derrick, they moved the canvas up from the derrick, to compensate for the sun's changing in the sky so it wouldn't look weird, because it had to look like it was the same time, even though it was 8 hours, even though the scene took like 8 to 10 hours to do. So,
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing all the detail that goes into even
yes,
just a single frame of a film. Yeah, sometimes I know like from location scouting for films that I help, make things that I write or I help other people with, like, you have to be so diligent of where the sun is coming in through windows. Yeah, no, definitely. Sometimes, you realize why these movies cost so much.
exactly. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. And then I was in Amistad in 1997. That was my first one. And Spielberg fired me from the set.
No way.
Because I played a member of the House of Representatives in 1839, and I said, we were doing a scene in Boston at the State House with John Quincy Adams, who was our president, and back at that time, he fell asleep, and everyone was supposed to say, "Is he all right?" And I said, "Is he okay?" And then Spielberg, who was directing the scene, said, That's a 20th century saying, and this is 1839, you idiot." He literally called me out in front of all those people, and then he fired me.
Oh.
But the guy was a jerk, okay? I mean, that's fine, but at least I got to learn that everybody's different. I mean, Scorsese was a real dude, a real good dude, and Spielberg was an idiot. But they're both successful in doing what they do, and they do it the way they do it. And I'm successful in doing what I do, and you're successful. So sometimes you're a schmuck and you still do okay, and other times you're nice and you do okay. So it's not like nice people don't always finish last, I guess.
Yes, yeah,
Finish last, I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay. So I thought I'd throw that in as long as we're talking about what we've done. All right. Well,
yes,
so there
of
you have it.
course.
Have you ever been in any major films? If not, I'm sure you're heading in that direction, and ultimately you'll probably be out in Hollywood doing stuff. If not, you'll be there in New York doing stuff that's major.
Thank you. Thank you. Major films, I was in 27 Dresses, I guess the most featured.
Okay.
You could see me on a boat playing guitar. Speaking role in a major film, no, not yet.
Okay, that's fine. But that's why you gotta fill the void. You gotta be the new Scorsese.
Yes.
Or the new whatever his name was. I don't know. There's so many of them.
Or Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine
the next
Bigelow.
Catherine
There you go.
Bigelow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right. Speaking of playing the guitar, how much I know you danced. Do you play music and sing as well, like in open mics or anything like that, or
I sing. I've been in bands in like high school and a little bit of college. I just have a guitar just to play along with. I'll write like some lyrics and strum a guitar to it. I wouldn't call myself a guitar player necessarily.
Okay.
I'm more into the writing scripts and everything.
Where did you go to college?
Dominican University.
Where's
here
that?
in Rockland.
Okay.
In Rockland, yeah, in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and your major was what?
My major was psychology, theater minor, and actually something interesting that happened while I was in college was as I started this little video production class or something, whatever you like to call it, club. And I remember like we were doing like video Valentines and somebody actually proposed on one of them.
To you?
So I was like, yeah, I'll always remember that. I was just like, how cool.
Whoa, someone proposed to you, like marriage to you?
No, not to me, to their girlfriend at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe next time someone will propose to you. I could see someone doing that. I could see you being a heartbreaker too. I'm sure your parents always said that about you. She's going to be a heartbreaker. Okay. Were you ever a cheerleader in high school? You look like you could have been.
Yeah, I wasn't too into it though. I just tried it just to see, because again, it's like I love to dance, so it had that physical component.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't. It was so cliquey. I kind of walked away from it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked more of the artistic stuff. I took a lot of art classes. Yeah.
What about modeling? You're a pretty girl. Have you modeled before?
I have. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. Yes, I've for like a romance magazine. I also was the assistant editor of a magazine as well.
Okay. What magazine was that?
Metal Edge.
Oh,
Metal
okay.
Edge
What kind of magazine is it?
It's rock metal. Yeah, I did some writing for magazines for the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas.
Oh, okay. So it sounds more like a music magazine.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've interviewed Metallica before, Chris Cornell. Yeah.
You've interviewed Metallica, and wow, that's cool. That's amazing. So you've done some interviewing yourself, like I'm doing.
Yes, and I have a podcast for my film festival as well.
Okay. Do you let the people get to call in and talk to you?
I invite them on. I invite some people that have, great films. I invite them on and we discuss them.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's awesome. Well, guess what, Caterina? We're now in the final 5 minutes of the show. I hope you had fun talking to me.
I did. This was a blast. It was great getting to know about your career as well.
Oh, I know, exactly. Like we say, everything happens for a reason. So what I want you to do in the remaining time is just give a few shouts out to people that are going to see the show, and then we'll wrap it up with my snap and the way we began it. So go ahead.
Great. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank God, for everything, right?
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to my parents. My dad, Caterina Campagna, has passed.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for my mom, Maria Campagna. Very, very supportive parents. Thank God, since childhood. Yes. Somebody that does music, and I've collaborated with him in the past as well. Glenn Simoleni.
Okay.
Yeah, he does music for my podcast. He's an actor as well. Diane Drake, who also helps on the film festival with me. So yeah, I'm just so blessed to know some really great collaborators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is any of those people you think might be a good guest for my show? You got my digits, have them hit me up and we'll get them on, either in person or by Zoom.
Fantastic.
Preferably in person,
Fantastic.
but it's, if they're too far away, we'll do it by Zoom.
Okay.
Now that having been said, is there anything on the horizon coming up in the near, if not, that's fine, but that you want to mention, like a festival now that we're in the new year? If not,
Yes,
that's
the
fine, but you
festival.
tell me.
Yes, the festival is currently running. You can send in submissions through Film Freeway
Okay.
or www.hervisionfilmfestival.com. And I'm also finishing up a script,
Okay.
a murder mystery script. Do you
Okay.
want me to give the log line? Should I give the log line or no?
If you want to.
Okay, great. Detectives believe college students are responsible for a quadruple homicide. Can a councilwoman and her date survive the night when her daughter comes home from an unexpected visit from that same college?
Wow. Okay. That sounds like a college I might have gone to, but it wasn't. All right. Well, that's great. You did a wonderful job. And that's great. So that's what you're currently working on. Are you doing any commercials in the near future? I'm just wondering. I'd love to see you in a commercial. I bet you'd be amazing.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. Let's see. I have feelers out for things. I have a few projects I'm working on. I'm not at liberty to discuss just yet.
Okay.
But yeah, things are happening.
Do you have an agent at all or a publicist?
I'm my own publicist. Sorry about that. The phone is off, but
I didn't hear a thing. That's okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry. The phone rang.
You're your own publicist.
No, I'm currently between agents.
Okay. Well, you know what I was thinking? I like to give ideas to my guests that might behoove them. Maybe you'd like to try writing you wrote a commercial when you were a kid, right? Or when you were sick or something. Maybe you'd like to try doing it again, because there might be an opportunity, and then maybe submit it to an ad agency. Just a thought.
Thank you. Yes. I'm actually currently working on a script where I do write little commercials within. So yeah, I can't say much
That's
about
what I'm saying. If you did something like that, you might.
Yeah.
Right. I bet I bet you'd be phenomenal. You could be. Yeah. I mean, with that history, I mean, you could probably that podcast. How does one go about submitting a film to your festival? Just.
So you go to the website,
Okay.
www.hervisionfilmfestival.com.
Okay.
And there's a link where you could submit your work. You read about what we expect from projects, what we consider a short film, what we consider a feature. The fact that even though it's called the Her Vision Film Festival, we're about unity and equality. So if
a man
the
wanted to
director
submit something, he could do it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
as long as a female is involved, in a lead role,
Yep.
or it was written by a female, or your editor is going to be a female. So again, we want to it exists to promote equality and empower women, because traditionally, in film, I mean, look, there's only been 2 female directors that have won the Oscars, right?
Is that the one you mentioned, Catherine Bigelow, and is there another one?
Catherine Bigelow, and her name is escaping me. She had a really big film 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
All right. Well, if you can't remember it, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see her face, but her name is just eluding me right now.
Okay.
She had a remarkable film too. But I'm sorry. Yeah. But Catherine Bigelow, who I love, she's one of the.
Well, I have a hunch you'll be one of them as well. All right.
Thank you.
All right. You ready to
Your
wrap
lips to God's ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Totally. Are you ready to wrap the show up? With a
Yes.
snap? Okay, let's do it. All right, folks. Thanks for watching another great episode of Topic Time. More next time. Take care. Signing off and snapping out. There we go.
Lighting for ECAT production provided by the Avery Lee Williams Family Foundation.